Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So in this video, I will be teaching you how to make some of my favorite hair combos. So if you would like to have cutie hair, then like and subscribe and let's jump into the video. So for the first hairstyle, we're going to be using this hair, but we're only going to be using the bangs. And I'm going to make it blonde, but of course you can make it whatever color you like. Next I'm using this bun, and I'm turning off the bangs. And I'm of course coloring it in the same blonde color. Then I'm using this curly hairstyle, but I'm only going to use the bangs from this one. These are simply my favorite bangs, especially for updos. Then I'm using this beautiful side braid. I'm also adding the bangs from this hairstyle, but if you're worried about running out of items, you can just leave this off, it's not super necessary. I'm also going to be using this bun, but turning off the bangs, and coloring that in the same blonde color of course. I think this combo would be gorgeous for any glam looks or even an ethereal look, so yeah, I think it's really pretty, and let's move on to the next one. For this hairstyle, we'll be starting with this straight hair, and I'm going to be using a brown color this time. Then I'll add this updo. This is one of my favorites, I just love the curly detail that it adds. Next, I'll use the bangs from this hairstyle. I love these, they add such gorgeous texture. And I'll be adding the curly side bits from this one as well, and this one too, but you can leave this off if you feel like you're using up too many items. I'm also using this spiky bun for extra detail. And that's the next hairstyle done. I love this one for so many different themes, and it looks gorgeous with hair accessories too. So, for the third hairstyle, we'll be starting off with this one with no bangs, and I'm using a sort of reddy blonde color for this one. Then I'm using this brat hair and coloring it the same color of course. Then I'm using these bangs, and I'm using these fluffy side pieces as well. So that's this hair combo all done. I think it'll look especially cute with a hat or a headband. So let's move on to the next one. Let's make a cute textured bob this time, starting off with this hairstyle, and I'll be making this one blonde too. Then I'm using this short hair, making it the same color of course. Then this curly textured hair, I love this hair, it adds so much cute detail. Then the bangs from this hairstyle of course, since it seems like I can't live without them. And that's this sleek hairstyle all done. So let's move on to the next one. So for the next hairstyle, I'm using this one from the men's section, and I'm even using it in toggle too, because I really like the way it looks all messy. Some people might not agree, but I think it looks nice, especially for grungy themes. I'm layering it with this hairstyle, I think they look really good together, and I'm using this one too. I love the way this one turned out. I think it would be really cute with a cap or a beret. So let's move on to the next one. Hairstyle number 6 is going to be a stylish updo, so let's start off with this bun and turn off the bangs. Just for fun, I'm going to be making this one pink, but of course you can make it whatever color you like. I'm layering this curly hairstyle on top again, then I'm using all the same bangs from before, but you can leave these out if you like, I think it still looks cute without them. Adding these bangs for a finishing touch, and then I'm also using the spiky bun again to add extra detail. Here's the finished look. I think it looks really classy and beautiful, so let's move on to the next one. For hairstyle 7, we're using this layered hairstyle, and I'm going to make it a reddy brown color. Then I'm adding these bow buns. I love these, I use them in so many different hairstyles. Then adding these braided side bits, I think they're also really cute. I'm adding these side bangs, I use these way too much, I'm obsessed with them. And then I'm adding these bangs as well. And that's this one all done. I think it will work really well for cottagecore themes or girly themes. So let's move on to the next one. Using this hairstyle first, and I'm making it a dark blonde color. Then I'm using this braided hair and turning off the beads, and I'm making that the same color of course. Then I'm adding this spiky bun. I use this one a lot as you can tell. Then I'm adding the bangs from this hairstyle. I'm using these side swoop bangs. And for some extra texture, I'm adding this hairstyle as well. That's this hairstyle all done. I love this one, I think it looks so cute. So let's move on to hairstyle number 9. Hairstyle 9 is going to be a simple, sleek, short one. So starting off with this cute bob, and I'm making it blonde again. Then I'm using this hairstyle, but I'm only using the bangs this time. Then I'm using this fringe, and the curly pieces from this hairstyle. This one is so simple, but it looks so good. I really love the way it turned out. Let's do another simple hairstyle, starting off with this long one, and I'm gonna make this a nice pastel purple color. Then I'm adding these braids. I love using these in longer hairstyles. Then I'm using these bow buns. I'm also using these side pieces, and I'm gonna use these bangs as well. I also went back and turned off the bangs from the bow hairstyle. So that's this girly long hairstyle look all finished. So let's move on to the last one. For the last hairstyle, I'm using these fluffy buns and I'm making them blonde. Then I'm adding these little side ponytails. Then lastly, I'm adding these bangs. And that's the finished hairstyle and also the end of this video. I hope you found it helpful. If you did, maybe consider liking and subscribing. Also leave me a comment down below giving me any video ideas that you would like to see. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!